I thought it was just another job. McDonald's, night shift, extra cash while I figured out my life. When I got the call saying I'd been hired as a trainer, it almost felt like a promotion, something I could brag about. But the first night I walked into that fluorescent glow, with the parking lot half empty and the fryers humming like machines in a hospital, I realized something was off. The manager, old guy named Carter, didn't welcome me with a handshake. He slid me a laminated sheet across the counter. The corners were greasy, like it had been handled for years. On the top in bold red letters, it said, "Night Shift Rules." He told me to memorize them before midnight. He said it in a tone that made it clear, these weren't company policies. They were survival rules. Rule 1, never serve a customer after 2:03 a.m. The dining room was empty, quiet, except for the hum of the soda machine. At exactly 2:10, the bell above the door jingled. A man walked in, tall, shoulders hunched, face pale under the buzzing lights. He asked for a Big Mac. One of the new crew, some kid barely 17, stepped forward to take his order. I grabbed his wrist. "Kitchen's closed," I said, voice shaking. The man stared at me for too long. His lips moved, but no sound came out. Then he turned, walked out the door, and dissolved into the parking lot shadows like smoke. The kid cursed me out for being rude, until we noticed the fry station dripping blood instead of oil. After that, nobody argued about Rule 1. Rule 2, keep the ice cream machine running. Don't ask why. Everyone jokes that McDonald's ice cream machines are always broken. But on night shift, we make sure it's always humming. Doesn't matter if it's serving or not, just keep it alive. Around 3 a.m. that first week, the machine sputtered. A low groan filled the kitchen, and the lights dimmed. Carter ran in with panic in his eyes, slamming buttons until the motor whirred back to life. The moment it kicked on, something heavy crawled across the roof. We heard claws scrape metal, slow and deliberate, circling. Then it stopped. Carter looked at us and said, "If the machine ever dies completely, so do we." We stopped laughing about broken ice cream machines after that. Rule 3, don't mop the lobby floor after midnight. One new hire ignored that. He wanted to impress, to keep the place spotless. Around 12:30 he pushed the mop across the tile, water streaking under fluorescent light. I heard the squish of footsteps that weren't his. He looked up. Wet tracks stretched across the lobby, leading straight to the locked play area. We all watched as something invisible climbed into the PlayPlace tubes, the plastic echoing with creaks. Then came the giggles. Childlike, but hollow. We never saw him mop again. Rule 4, if the drive-through headset crackles, don't answer. The headset usually buzzes with static when no cars are there. But sometimes, it's not static. Sometimes it's voices. One night, I heard a woman whispering my name. I yanked the headset off, heart pounding. Another crew member once answered. He said a customer wanted a Happy Meal. Laughed about it, until he brought the box back from the window. Inside wasn't a toy. It was a small, wet heart. The police came, but they found nothing. The box was gone. Now, whenever the headset buzzes without a car, we just let it crackle. Rule 5, never open the walk-in freezer alone. Stocking nuggets is easy. But the freezer is a trap. I made that mistake once. Thought I'd be quick. When I stepped inside, the door slammed behind me. My breath fogged, and the walls groaned. In the corner, bags of fries shifted. A face pressed against the plastic from inside, eyes wide, mouth frozen in a scream. I bolted, pounding the door until someone yanked it open. They swore they hadn't touched it. Now we only go in pairs. And even then, we keep the door cracked with a broom. Rule 6, if you see Ronald after midnight, don't look at him. Most McDonald's don't even have Ronald statues anymore. But ours does, an old plastic one sitting outside near the play area. At night, his head turns. Just slightly. One shift, I caught it moving, eyes following a crew member as she smoked out back. She laughed, waved at him. By morning, her locker was empty. She never came back. Her phone disconnected, her uniform gone. Carter didn't file paperwork. He just printed a new copy of the rules and taped it above the fryer. Rule 7, keep the fryers full, even if no orders come in. It sounds stupid. Wasting oil, wasting fries. But if the baskets aren't sizzling, things get worse. One night, we let them run empty. The hiss of oil faded, and suddenly the restaurant went dead quiet. The hum of machines stopped. The buzzing lights stopped. Even our breathing sounded swallowed. Then came the smell, burnt meat, thick and choking. Carter sprinted in, dumping an entire bag of fries into boiling oil. The sound roared back, lights flickered on, and the smell vanished. He just muttered, "Don't let them starve." Rule 8, if you hear kids laughing in the PlayPlace, lock the doors. That play area is supposed to be closed at night. But every so often, faint laughter echoes through the plastic tubes. One crew member peeked in once. He swore he saw small shadows darting through the slides. He swore they waved at him. Later that shift, he found a Happy Meal toy in his locker, one McDonald's hasn't given out in 20 years. We don't check the play area anymore. We just lock the doors and wait for silence. Rule 9, don't check the mirrors after 4 a.m. Every restaurant has a bathroom mirror. Ours doesn't follow the rules of glass. At 4:15, I made the mistake of splashing water on my face, looking up. My reflection smiled before I did. Its teeth were too sharp, too many. I staggered back, leaving the sink running. When I returned later, the mirror was cracked. Water had run across the floor, but the sink was dry. Now I tell new crew, wash your hands, but don't look up. By the time sunrise creeps through the greasy windows, we're pale, exhausted, and grateful just to step outside. Carter never asks how the shift went. He just says, "Still breathing, good. See you tonight." I only lasted 3 months. Training new hires meant watching them disappear one by one, their names scratched off the schedule like they never existed. I quit before the rules claimed me too. But sometimes when I pass a McDonald's late at night, I swear I smell that burnt meat stench. I hear the headset crackle, faint voices asking for Happy Meals. And I wonder if quitting was enough. Or if the rules already followed me home. Backhand index pointing right, drop a comment. Would you last a single shift with these rules, or quit before midnight? Smash subscribe if you try to survive longer than me.